transferred the registration print to the bed of the press, I can now carefully place my Monotype plate on my registration marks, ensuring to keep my registration paper clean. If this gets dirty, that dirty mark will transfer itself into my printing paper. If that happens, then I'll simply put a piece of newsprint on top of my registration paper, which will enable me to see the marks that I've made on my registration print and still accurately place my paper. Take your damped blotted paper, place the bottom corner in line with the bottom corner of the registration plate and drop it into position. Once you're happy that that's lined up, you need to now place another piece of newsprint on top. Now, Monotype, because of the amount of paint that we're using on the plate, can sometimes bleed through the paper onto the blankets. When you consider the blankets of an etching press are about £100 each, you want to try to make sure these last as long as possible. So if you are producing monotypes, it's also useful to place a sheet of the same plastic that we got from the workshop on top of that. This means that if it does bleed through the newsprint, it can't possibly transfer to the blankets. We now take this through the press. Once the plate's gone through the other side, carefully roll up the blankets, flip them over the etching press, pull the plastic to one side, and you can see that some of the paint's gone through the backing sheet. And that would have left quite an irreparable piece of damage on the plate. We can now peel off our monotype and we can look at the finished result. So the finished monotype has a wide variety of tones which have been produced through the opacity of the black paint. It also has this incredible luminosity which is partly due to the white paper coming through the print. With the last demo, when I positioned the paper over the top of the wet plate, I repositioned the paper again, having got it slightly out of alignment. That resulted on a blot on the excess edge of the paper. This time around I've carefully placed the paper on top of the registration print, and now you can see there is just the print printed and no blot on the edge of the paper, leaving a much crisper result. You'll see from a monotype that every aspect of the mark making has been recorded faithfully. Bold gestural areas, areas where barely a whisper of ink remains. All qualities of mark making have been accurately recorded. That's largely due to the absorbency of the paper and the thinness of the paint that's been applied. Too thick a paint and it would squish and distort the image. You're also left with a whispered image, a ghost image of what you've already made on the plate, which means that you can now rework the image again and again, producing ever more complicated variations upon the motif.